Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Collective Perspective Podcast. My name is Jeff, and I'm here with my best friend, Chad. What's up, Trav?
What's up, everybody? Glad to be back, liking this new weather we're having.
Hey, today we're going to explore some more propaganda. We thought it was important to at least get you informed that you're being lied to. And I don't want to come off sound like, hey, you're being lied to, throw in the red flag, but I think there's some minor examples of things that we intake every day that you'll see is actually just lying to you.
So today we're going to be looking at the two most common psychological tactics used to drive sales and influence behavior in advertising.
Well, not just in advertising, influence behavior.
In general, yeah.
In general, population behavior, ethnicity behavior, nationalities.
Cultural
behaviors. And two of the most common threats to society, I say it's a threat because, I mean, if you enjoy being lied to, do you like being lied to, Travis?
No.
So if I came out with these little white lies to you all the time, how long do you think you would hold me as a friend?
Probably not very long.
It'd probably blow you off. Like, man, this guy is always full of crap. Those are the guys that you come across. You're like, man, that guy is full of crap.
Yeah, I'll talk to him, but I won't listen to anything he says.
I can't believe you can't, or the person goes, you can't believe one thing that guy says. And
I'm sure we know a few people like that.
Yeah. Well, what's crazy is that companies use false scarcity, social proof, glittering generalities to basically lie to you
and drive their sales.
And let me start off by saying glittering generalities is something that I had to practice saying because it's really hard to say for some reason. Can you say it?
Glittering generalities.
Okay,
it takes a while, but you've got to really enunciate.
So these are language. Glittering generalities is something that supports these lies. And to go over glittering generalities a little bit, it is protect your freedom. This is the best.
Very broad statements of a product or service, or just really broad generalizations.
Well, from my understanding, it comes to they're just like they are glittering generalities. So they're just trying to say, hey, here's a statement, but there's no solution to it. There's no, hey, well, how are you going to do that? I think a lot of times glittering generalities are mixed with slogans. Slogans actually are a way for a company or an entity to say, this is what we're about, and this is how we're going to go about doing it. So it adds some type of resolve.
Glittering generalities, also known as sugarcoating it.
Oh, well. That's pretty good, sugarcoating it. Is that real?
I have no idea. I just made that up on the spot. I'm just practicing my glittering generalities.
Wow. You're being creative. So, the two basic concepts, let's face it, propaganda is lying.
I can agree with that. Propaganda is, yes.
It may have some type of truth to it, but it usually cuts something out or adds something in to add some type of emotion to you.
Even a half-truth is still considered a lie because you're not given the full information.
So let's tell you what exactly false scarcity is.
False scarcity, limited time offer, or only 2 remaining. I'm sure you've seen those throughout your shopping carts and shopping online sprees.
And social proof is everybody else is doing it, you should do it too.
And not just from somebody famous. That would be a celebrity endorsement.
They use popular people to be able to push this thing on there, but they normally when they do that, the celebrity gets something free, or they get unlimited use for it because they want you to see that, hey, this person is wearing these things. And so what's kind of weird is that here is this person that's making millions of dollars and he's getting free clothes, I mean, heck, that's awesome. If you're successful like that and people are giving you free things.
Sponsorships, yeah.
I mean, there's some manufacturers that have given me free things too, not necessarily as a gift, but to influence, for me to influence other people to use this product. One thing I would not do is lie to you that, hey, this product does this. And I think that's kind of where influencers kind of, yeah, they have their niche thing that they're talking about, but influencers are at least showing you video and you can kind of make your own decision.
And that's still a form of the social proof because you're actually using the product and you stand behind that product because you believe in it. And that's probably the one of the more genuine social proofs that there is. Could you call that a little white lie when you're the one pushing it, or when the company gives you something to use and you actually like it and you use it? That's not a lie at that point. You're just giving your one perspective on it.
Perspectives are a word of mouth is pretty normal and it's pretty sincere. Yeah, you're not going to get always, but you usually get a friend that say, "Hey, I bought this and I like it, but this, but there's this about it," or like, "No, man, you'll completely love it." And you have to kind of just go with what your friend says. I don't think that person is lying to you at that point. Even like, "Hey, man, everybody's going, you should go too." I don't think your friend's lying to you as everybody you know. So you have to define who everybody is. So if
Right.
I'm just saying, "Hey, everyone that's watching this commercial," well, that's way too. Or, "Hey, everybody that's watching this podcast," that is a lot different than going, "Hey, this specific person," or whatever.
Where do we go next?
Where do we find these types of things?
Yeah.
Well, you find false scarcity and flash sales, limited drops, limited edition. So, like, there's an electronic manufacturer that makes every year. These companies do this. For Christmas, it's the white DJ controller that is the limited edition thing, and the only thing different about it is the color. All the functionality of everything else. They may throw a little bit something else in there,
Like add an extra effect or something.
and I'm like, "Oh man, you got the 2016 white one, man."
I used to look for the Black Friday sales. Now I know you have a theory on those about
Yeah,
not being honest.
my theory on my Black Friday is every day is Black Friday with me. Come shop with me. Like, get out of here. Limited edition type of things, like, hey, like we were talking about the controllers. There is one common thing where you can look at cars on car dealers websites, and it's a limited one only. Like, well, that price isn't the VIN number. Like, well, where's the VIN number? Oh, that one sold. Like, oh, so you're really telling me is that, well, one, I can't prove that they're lying, but they are. That car, that's just to entice me to create an emotion for me to act.
Creating an emotion to act, because
Right.
we act on emotions more than we do on logic and reason.
Join thousands of satisfied customers. Do you know the amount of thousands of people that watch this podcast, Travis?
I wish I did.
There are thousands of people that watch the Collector Perspective on a weekly basis, and you should too. So starting this week, you should subscribe
Like and
and
comment.
share with people because everybody else is doing it. Welcome to the Collector Perspective Podcast. Now, I wish I wasn't lying to you, but I am. That was an example. What did you think about that example, Travis?
Pretty good. Pretty good example.
Pretty good example right off the wing.
Now we're in no way trying to be cynical about this. Our goals in this podcast.
Everybody's going to watch us now, though.
Our goals aren't to be cynical, but they're to clarify. And, we're trying to build awareness, not paranoia, about everything that you see around you.
Another thing about glitter and generalities is that it's marketing language that sounds powerful, but adds no measurable substance. That's what I was trying to say earlier. was that there is no, okay, well, it kind of just leaves you off.
It's the biggest sale of the year.
I'm going to leave you off at the end of the block. And that's it. Yeah, that's it. See you. I'm not going to give you. So why are people doing this? Or why do companies feel that they have to lie to you?
For their shareholders, stakeholders?
Come on, Travis. Because they want your money.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Shareholders, stakeholders, the board.
Man, doesn't it make you feel bad that you're lying? I mean, it would make me feel bad if I was lying to someone to make a living.
Yeah.
Man, there's so many of you out there. You're everywhere. I don't think that's propaganda. I think that's truth.
Really one needs to drive the bottom line. I mean, we've seen so much excess recently, and especially when that C-19 hit, we had profits starting to drop, and then next thing you know, online sales were exploding, and everything started going back up again via that route. And everyone now, if they break even or have the same profit as the year previous, they start firing their whole team and rehiring new people to increase it so that they gain more each year. And unfortunately, that's just not how things work. There are cycles, and if you keep building a cycle, I think for so long, there will be a time when it crashes. And when it does, then you're screwed. So everybody tries to make as much as they can right now before that crash comes.
Why does false scarcity work? I think it works because people live off of fear. Oh, one thing I've heard recently is, have you ever heard the term political concussion?
No, I haven't.
Ooh, I was like, wow, what is a political concussion? Well, Travis, let me tell you. A political concussion is when you've been exposed to so much political that you can't stop and realize what is real and what isn't. And you get clouded by it because you've had too much intake of politics these days. Now it's a choice. I decided to not go on Facebook very often at all. And that really reduced the amount of stress because I feel Facebook is a cesspool for social proof.
Because everybody wants to belong. And it's a feeling of community. Oh, I've got the same thing as this person. Keeping up with the Joneses, man.
Keeping up with the Joneses. There's some people that have battles or competitions with their neighbors. So I think that's pretty funny.
That's
where
exactly.
They have to keep up. My lawn has to look as good as your lawn, and my car has to look as good as my car. But those people are all just materialistic, I think.
Yeah, I think for the most part. Speaking of lawns, I try to keep up with mine just because I like it. And everybody asks me, what do I do? And I'm an open book. I'm like, hey, I use this nursery. I use this schedule, and this is my result. And so that right there would be a social proof in my neighborhood, right? This is what I use. This is what I do. And here's the result.
Well, word of mouth is different than social proof, though, because nobody's paying you to say that.
Okay.
So for you to say, hey, I use this, I would say that's sincere marketing. Nobody hired you to come and say, hey, this is what I use and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
once you start getting paid, then it's kind of like, well, you feel obligated. No, you're hired to basically socially prove that, hey, I use it, you should too.
Speak positively about the product or service.
even though there's maybe you shouldn't use these AI glasses, and I could tell you multiple reasons why not to.
And going back to what you said earlier about the products and the friend that says, yeah, this is what I use and I think you should too, but here's the drawbacks. Here's where I find issues with it. That's when you're more authentic. And that's word of mouth when you offer what's good and someone and recommend somebody use it, but you also tell them this is the limitations that I found.
When does urgency become manipulation, though?
Ooh, good question. That I'm
Limited
not
time
sure.
only. You have to get these tickets. I think concert tickets are like that, aren't they?
Um, I think when
When
they
the
first go on
deadline
sale,
resets or scarcity is manufactured repeatedly. What are some examples of that?
the fear of missing out.
Guess we're not on who yet, though.
That's what it's talking about, though. The scarcity is fear of missing out.
Yeah, but when the deadline resets or scarcity is manufactured repeatedly, let's ask a special guest, ChatGPT. Hey, when we're talking about manipulation, when does urgency become manipulation? When the deadline resets or scarcity is manufactured repeatedly.
Into manipulation when the urgency isn't honest. If the deadline keeps resetting or the scarcity is just a gimmick, like saying only a few left when there's plenty, it's no longer about helping someone make a thoughtful decision. Instead, it's pushing them into a rush choice they might regret. Authentic urgency helps people prioritize. Fake urgency just exploits their fear of missing out.
The main thing that ChatGPT mentioned was that when it's not genuine is when it becomes manipulation. And if you know anything about the difference between manipulation and persuasion, is manipulation benefits me, where if I'm trying to persuade you into doing something, it benefits both of us. So if I'm trying to rush you into buying something and saying, hey, we only have 2 left, now I kind of do that sometimes because when there really is only 2 left in my business, I'm being sincere, meaning that, hey, there's only 2 left that we have in stock. That doesn't necessarily mean that there's only 2 left ever. You know what I mean? That's a lot different. Or there's only 2 left because I'm not going to have any in stock for a couple months. Like, those are 2 different things. They'd be like, hey, man, you might want to get this. I'm not manipulating you at that point. I'm helping you out, going, hey, you're not going to have this if you don't buy it right now. Or at least you're not going to have it at the price that I'm going to sell it to you for, or the availability of my stock. So that type of pressure in sales, being someone that does sales, is kind of the opposite of propaganda, the opposite of lying to you, because you're like, hey, you have something, or I have something that you need, and I can supply it, but you're going to have to act quickly on it. And sometimes that goes with anything, somebody's time, especially like when you're trying to provide a service. Like, look, man, I only have time to do this, because when you're providing a service for someone, time is everything, right? You're not necessarily, a lot of contractors aren't paying you for the job, they're paying you for the time. When does belonging become pressure?
So
I would have to say this current political climate is a prime example. I don't think we really need to talk about it too in depth, but what do you think, Trev?
no, I think you're right. I'd say probably over the last 8 years or so, 6 to 8 years, that if you don't belong to the right group, you're pressured to belong to them or keep your mouth shut.
Yep, or ostracized, or what do they call it? Cancel you.
But, I think all of us have felt that in some way over the last few years. And, like you said, we don't need to dig too deep into that one. That's something I think we can all relate with.
When do words become misleading? I think words become misleading when you're trying to manipulate them. I think it just goes back to that. I think when you're not telling 100% of the truth to explore or to express a narrative for your whatever reason you have, it doesn't matter whether you're trying to sell somebody a product or you're trying to sell an idea.
And I think I think you're right on that. And part of it also goes to being when when they're not delivering on specifics, when it's just a generalization. Um, they're poorly defined words. Is when they become misleading.
Now we have to talk about who. And this is, ironically, if we would have started with who first, everybody would have got emotional and got their panties all twisted. I guess you can say that.
Can we say that? Yeah, we can.
We can, but
Come on,
yeah.
that's a term from our generation.
Yeah, but it kind of is demoralizing women. Screw it. Just kidding.
Panties, knickers, underwear, whatever.
Hey, if it upset you, I'm sorry, but that's just how it is.
I'm not. Comment below.
Who benefits from the tactics? I would say businesses wanting your money, and they want short-term conversion spikes. They can lie to you, but how many times are you going to buy? This goes back to the white lies with your friend. How many times are you going to buy something and be like, you know what? That wasn't what I thought it was.
Like how many times has somebody bought something off of Temu and said, well, that wasn't right. And then they go back and buy 10 more things. They keep buying stuff from there and it's not the same. Or it's not what they expected.
Once something goes wrong, that's it, man. And I'm surprised I've given Amazon that many choices.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me thrice, then I'm just a moron.
I would say that we as consumers are the most vulnerable, and any woman going through menopause. Let's face it, they're sensitive.
Oh my God. Yeah, you're right. Consumers are the ones who are most vulnerable because we want to be led down a path. People will say anything to get our emotions up, to drive an action.
And I wasn't being mean about women that are actually going through that, but if you're a man, you understand what I'm saying. Just so you know.
Full of apologies today, Jeff.
Who stands out differently? We do. The collective perspective does.
Stands out.
Why are we different?
Why are we different? Because we're highlighting these things.
Because companies that do not rely on pressure, but on transparency. That's us. That's what makes us different. I think you should look for companies that rely on transparency. This is what we're doing. I mean, I don't know how many companies I'm going to have a newsletter for and I'm going to give two hoots about, but maybe my own company that I work for. Of course, I have an interest in that.
Well, of course.
But those are the people that stand out differently. When they actually say, hey, this is my slogan, and they actually do what they're saying they're doing. How do we recognize false scarcity?
If the deadline is actually real and consistent. Many times you see these going out of business sales on storefronts and they're not really going out of business.
How many years has the mattress place down the street been going out of business? For a long time. So it's just like, you're so lame that you keep on using the same propaganda that doesn't work. That's really weird. How do we resist social pressure?
Ooh, that's a good one. Maybe find out what's really quality and what's just popular.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are not good that are popular.
And then some of the things that you've never heard of are like the best that it could be, but you never heard of it.
Just because it hadn't gone viral yet. How do we decode general glittering generalities?
See, he's had a hard time saying that term. How do we what?
I think we've already decoded glittering generalities. And that is the slogan versus the glittering generalities. A slogan would be, a company that says this is what we're about, and this is what they do. That's what they do. You can see examples of that slogan in everything that they do. That is being honest.
Yeah, and that's just it. Even with supporting, rewarding honesty. We got to support those businesses that say what they are and actually do what they say.
Reward them. Be their loyal customer.
Shop local.
Shop local.
I try to shop local when I can. I've given up buying my steaks and stuff from the local grocery store because where's it coming from? I don't know. Is it real meat? Possibly not. I don't know. But going to the local butcher shop that gets his beef all in one, from one cow or from whatever it is that they're getting it from, they slice it up. They butcher it for you and give you the cuts that you want. That's who I shop with.
Here's a plug for local fare. My wife and I, we get from local fare. They source their meat from Hunter Farms in Georgia.
Oh, nice.
And we get delivery once a month from a company in the city I live in called Local Fare.
Nice.
There we are, rewarding honest businesses by recognizing them on a podcast that thousands of people watch.
That's right.
Man, maybe one day we'll get a sponsor. But hey, thanks for watching this episode of the Collector Perspective Podcast. By all means, we would highly recommend that you subscribe, just like everybody else does that watches our shows, and we hope you got something out of it.
Because we did.